going on, everyone? Just driving to work. It's usually about a 45-minute drive, but I don't know, I got to thinking I could probably do podcast while driving, man, just on the way. As long as it's like a subject where I don't need to read anything or look anything up, and I can just kind of like talk off the top of my head. Yeah, I wanted to make a video just kind of talking about the elite. I know I've gotten a comment before on, oh, you shouldn't refer to them as the elite. You and me and everyone else in the truth community we're the actual elite. And it's like, I don't know, I just don't like referring to myself as elite. I know the person was trying to be nice and, you know, I guess trying to boost morale, but I try to be like a humble person, you know. I try to be open book, you know, I try to tell the truth. But yeah, I don't think I've really figured out how to self-love. I just get real weirded out when people start complimenting me or telling me that I should love myself, and I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't really deserve it, you know. I don't think I've ever really been happy with myself, like 100%. I feel like I know myself more. I feel like after my first divorce, you know, that when I was living alone, I definitely had the freedom to find myself. You know, that's when I started exploring spirituality. 'Cause my ex-wife, man, she would always put me down. Anytime I would talk anything conspiracy or spirituality, she just automatically would just call me crazy. And basically just tell me to shut up. Like, pretty much that's all you ever talk about is the Illuminati, the Illuminati. And you know, that was like when I first started learning about how the world works, you know, like what's going on behind the scenes. I always had an inkling that something was fishy, but I never really looked into it and tried to figure out what it was and stuff. That and like, I don't know, I call the elites because it's a better word than the Bavarian Illuminati. That's such a generic term for the elites, because it's like, there actually was an actual Bavarian Illuminati created by Adam Weishaupt. But yeah, like, that was back in like the 1700s, you know. They pretty much infiltrated Freemasonry. They started the French Revolution. And I believe that a lot of it, they kind of started America, you know, as like the new Atlantis, you know, an experiment. But I wanted to get into, honestly, talking about sex and the occult, sex and the elite, how everyone, the higher up you go, they gotta have dirt on each other. You know, that's why you see all this stuff with Hollyweird and politics. It's in politics and Hollywood, you know. But that's why you see like Jeffrey Epstein, you know, had dirt on everyone. That's how he became so successful and powerful. It's all a blackmail game. Everyone's got blackmail on each other. I mean, it's kind of like joining a gang. When you join a gang, they got like certain rituals they do. Like one of them I've heard was you drive around at night with your brights on, and if someone flashes their brights at you, you know, saying, hey, you're blinding me, basically they turn the car around and you gotta shoot whoever's in that car, whoever's driving that car. You gotta kill them. And for them, like in the gang, it keeps everybody in a circle of trust because everybody's guilty of murder. So if I'm in a gang and I go and rat out so and so, he's gonna rat me out because I'm guilty of murder. You know, that's just how it works. Everybody's got dirt on each other. And I honestly, man, I kind of believe that in life too. Like even like for people who don't believe in conspiracy theories, you know, they'll go to work at a normal job and they'll be like, oh, so-and-so is trying to get a higher position, so they're making stuff up about me or just gossiping about me. That's a conspiracy theory right there, dude. Conspiracy, all it means is that when two or more people are conspiring to do something, you know, and there's good conspiracies and there's bad conspiracies, you know. I mean, this stuff's been going on since ancient times. But the elite, they use sexual perversion as like basically their dirt on each other. And everybody goes, man, like all the elite are pedophiles. Well, that's how you get to the higher ranks in politics, man. That's how you get higher up the pyramid, is you've got to do something fucked up, you know, to get that high up in rank. And it started out, they first used like homosexuality as like their blackmail. Like, oh, President Kennedy, oh, he's gay. You know, Abe Lincoln, oh, he's gay. Because that was like the big devil, you know, to be labeled as gay, you know, back then. But as time went on, you know, it's not really that big of a deal to be gay anymore. I do have to say, in the conspiracy, the community, I guess, there is a lot of homophobia going on. And I think that's kind of sad, you know. That's one of the ways that I believe that the elite, you know, divide us, you know. And I get it, man. You see a lot of Christian conspiracy theorists, which is cool, you know. But I've seen like whole little documentaries on them, like demonizing, you know, the gay community. And it's like, it's kind of sad because it's like, you know, you could be trying to red pill the homosexual community instead of demonizing them. And the older I've gotten, I don't really fucking care, you know? I don't really care about what anyone's sexuality is as long as they're not messing with kids and they're not messing with animals. That was like, there's a big conspiracy that, hopefully I don't get killed over this video. That would be kind of cool to not die over this video. But Joan Rivers calling out Obama, saying that he was gay, that Michelle is a man. And I mean, there's video after video you could find of Obama calling her Michael, Big Mike, you know. That and Michelle Obama, you know, on Ellen, dancing with Ellen and her schlongs bouncing around, and photos of her with a bulge and stuff down there. But my thing was, I was just kind of like, a lot of people believe that Joan Rivers was killed for saying that, and I wouldn't be surprised. But the thing that kind of I don't understand is, dude, it's like 2020, man. Like, it is people are the most open-minded now, especially when it comes to homosexuality. So I don't understand why that would have been a problem. I mean, people wanted them in because I believe a lot of it was people wanted the first black president, you know. And sadly, even after he got presidency, they're like, oh, that doesn't count. He's only half black. I don't know, I always found that odd, like, being a white guy, and I used to work with a lot of black people when I worked at McDonald's, you know, and they're almost like, there's like, sort of like a racial, like, oh, you're part of the club, or how much part of the club are you, even amongst themselves. Like, I remember one of my bosses, she was like pure black, like black dad, black mom, and then she'd say stuff to like the mixed kids working, like, oh, you're only half black, you know. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't know, it just seems silly. I mean, where was I going? But yeah, I don't understand why she had to be killed off for saying that, though. Like, to me, I didn't care. Like, when I first heard, you know, they're like, oh, Obama's gay, Michelle's a tranny, her actual name's Michael. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, went down those rabbit holes and, like, researched it and shit, and I truly believe that she is a man. But my thing was, I didn't care. Like, people would come up to me and be like, do you know Obama's gay? And I'd be like, cool. I mean, as long as he's not fucking kids, why does it matter? Which, you know, if you read the emails, the whole walnut sauce shit, you kind of know what's going on. But yeah, that's what they used to use was basically homosexuality. That was their first blackmail. And then they started realizing that most people don't give a fuck who's gay and who's not gay anymore. Because I've heard conspiracies, people go, did you know Abe Lincoln was gay? And I'm just like, cool. Don't care. Did you know JFK was gay? Cool. Don't care. Did you know that JFK used to be on meth? Cool. Don't care. Like, I used to be an alcoholic, so, well, how could I judge him for being on methamphetamine when I used to drink myself to death, you know? But yeah, and then they had to bump up the game, you know? Like, okay, well, if that's not gonna work, we need to start doing stuff with kids, or, you know, shit like that. But, I don't know, you see it a lot in the occult in general. Like, I believe that there is a plan to make homosexuality and stuff more of the mainstream. I believe that they want people to go that direction, but I think that's honestly just population control. I think that's why they have, like, the whole, like, tranny strippers going to schools and hanging out with kindergartners and fucked up shit like that. That, and honestly, they're just, the elite are just vile people, so they get their rocks off by, you know, destroying the family unit and, you know, perversion. I mean, that's why you got tranny strippers twerking in front of kindergartners at schools and shit. They want to see how far they can push everything. And I truly believe within the next several years that they're going to try to push pedophilia, make it more mainstream and legal, and it's crazy. Yeah, the world that my child is going to grow up in is going to be insane. But I never had a problem with the whole tranny stuff or homosexuality and stuff like that. As long as it's not pushed on a kindergartner and confusing that child about their sexuality. I don't think kids should be thinking about sex in general until they get older and start learning about like human growth and development, you know, when puberty age. But just like kids be kids, man. Let them play with Barbies and G.I. Joes and let them go to school and just learn colors and numbers and shapes. And I don't understand why we're shoving sexuality down young children's throats, you know. It doesn't make sense to me. But a lot of it too is they're pushing towards sodomy, making sodomy mainstream, which that goes back to Aleister Crowley and stuff, man. Aleister Crowley believed basically the anus was the eye of Horus, and that the vagina was the eye of Venus. And I'm not making this shit up. You can study it, man. Sex and the occult is like they're tied together. Like the occult's tied in with everything, man. You can find the occult in anything. But yeah, and he believed that the eye of Horus, which would be the anus, was more powerful than the eye of Venus. And that's why they push sodomy as like an agenda, you know? Which, like I said, between consenting adults, I see no problem with it. And I may turn off a lot of people to this channel because I've had people that have commented on my videos in the past and they've only like watched like 1 or 2 videos and haven't really got into my channel and checked out my other stuff, and they automatically assume I'm a Christian. You know, and they're like, oh, I'll pray for you, God bless you, you know, Jesus loves you. And that's cool, you know, if you wanna, if that makes you feel better to go in my comment section and preach Jesus, hey, more power to you, dude. I mean, I welcome anyone to the channel. Gay, straight, Christian, non-Christian. If you do witchcraft, cool. I'm cool with you. You know, as long as you're not fucking around with animals or kids, then I'm pretty open-minded, dude. But like, even like the whole sodomy thing, you know, I ain't trying to be gross, but me and my wife do butt stuff all the time, dude. It's not that big of a deal to me, man. So if people thought that I was like, if they think that I have some sort of moral high ground, that I'm like some saint over here, some Christian warrior, I'm not, dude. I'm a freak in the sheets. My wife's a freak in the sheets. That's part of the reason I married her, man. It's 2020. Times are changing. People are more open-minded with sexuality, man. But I truly do believe that sodomy is being pushed as an agenda, though. Like, if you even look at like what was popular and stuff, if you look at like 80s, 90s and stuff like that, it was all about the tits, man. Playboy, big double D's. And then somewhere along the way, I believe with like the gangbang and like rap and stuff like that, I believe that sodomy got pushed more into the mainstream. And I think that, like I said, it's eugenics and stuff, man. It's population control. The less of us that there are, the easier we can be controlled. And like I said, man, I ain't judging. I don't care. I like butts. I ain't gonna lie. Call me a pervert, call me whatever, man. I like ass. I'm an ass guy, you know? But I don't know. Some people look at it as, oh, we're just becoming heathens and they're real homophobic, or they'll preach to me about sodomy. That's one thing that aggravates me is like, I have like Christian family members who try to like preach to me about how sodomy is a sin and all that, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's That's your rule book. I don't believe in your rule book, dude. So, like, your laws are nothing to me. I'm gonna do what makes me happy, what makes me feel good. That's like me, like, that would be like if you were playing Yahtzee and I came up to you with a Monopoly rule book and was like, hey, whoa, you're playing Yahtzee wrong, dude. It says here in Monopoly, the instruction manual on page 3 that, you know, that this is how you play Yahtzee. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. That's your rule book. We're both playing a game, but we're playing 2 different games, brother. You know? I mean, if that's what gets you through the day is Christianity and dogma and rules, then cool, you know? But I don't have those rules. And I guess in scripture they would say my conscience is seared. But the thing is, I don't feel guilty for my sexuality. Because I know that I'm not harming anyone. It's with a consenting adult. I don't care. You know? Stop kink shaming, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. I wish there wasn't so much homophobia in the conspiracy community. I wish that, honestly, the Christian conspiracy theorists would stop shoving stuff down their throats and stuff. Like, I've watched videos and witchcraft get brought up into it. And you would think these motherfuckers in the comments section are about ready to start another witch trial, dude. It's like, do you guys not study history? Have you not seen what happened in Salem? Because if you're wanting to make a Salem sequel, a Salem part 2, like, I'm not for that, dude. You know, it's cool, you got your beliefs, I got my beliefs. Like, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. But I don't know. But yeah, Aleister Crowley, man, like, he was definitely big on, like, sexual perversion and stuff. Like, I've made a video on him and Jack Parsons talking about how they were trying to recreate the Antichrist, or create the Antichrist with aka the whore of Babylon. But he believed that, honestly, like, the anus was like a portal, you know? A portal into, like, the soul, pretty much. Which, hey, I'm down with, you know? I ain't gonna lie, I've been tempted to get into, like, sex magic and stuff. Obviously nothing too crazy, but, you know, what they call it, Tantra, I believe. Which I dabble with magic and witchcraft and stuff anyways. It's fun, it works. I don't believe in putting curses on anyone and stuff, but, like, as far as, like, protection spells and healing spells, like, I'm all for that. But yeah, he believed it was like a portal into the soul. And if you look at even, like, some of the occult stuff, like Oculum infame, which was like a ceremony for witches, like an initiation ceremony of witches, and basically the procedure they believed, the Catholic Church at the time believed that basically, like, an initiate witch would kiss the devil's anus, and that's how you became a witch. Obviously, there's not much evidence of some red dude, you know, hanging out in the woods getting rim jobs from witches, you know. I imagine that it could have been an actual ceremony that was going on of maybe, like, a male or a female, perhaps dressing as the devil, you know. And I mean, we carry that type of stuff on now. Like, look at fraternities and what do they call it, where it's the female version, maternities. You see all that weird sexual initiation stuff, even on, like, college campuses, joining fraternities and stuff like that. It's nothing new, man. And I think half of them don't even know realize that they're just pretty much carrying on the old ancient occult practices, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing new. Sex in the occult, it's everywhere, dude. You know, they got movies like Eyes Wide Shut, and pretty much telling you, hey, the elite, they're freaks, man. They're having swinger parties and orgies and stuff, and I don't know. I think a lot of the elite, man, that's just part of the game, you know. Like, hey, what's yours is mine. We're all in the same club. I'm not for it, you know. Me and my wife, it's just me and her, you know. We don't trade partners. We don't swap. We don't share. To me, that just like, I've never seen that turn out good in anyone's marriage. Usually, anytime someone starts swapping, and this is just my opinion, there might be people out there that make it work, but just about like, that's to me is like the nail in the coffin. When you start swapping your spouse, you know, and you get into cuckoldry and threesomes and foursomes and all that shit. I've watched it time and time again. Usually your marriage is done at that point, because you all have to wake up and have that awkwardness in the morning of, yeah, I fucked your best friend last night, like in front of you. And some people can make it work, you know, more power to you, but I'm just telling you, I love my wife. My wife's my best friend, and I'd rather not delve into that part of sexuality and pretty much ruin my marriage. I don't know, it just seems like one divorce in my lifetime was enough. The divorce in general, man, I swear, it got drug out probably about a year in court. And I aged 5 years within that 1 year. I mean, that shit about killed me. I looked like death. I felt like death. You know, I was living the death card in the tarot deck, man. But there's a little marriage advice. Just wanted to honestly do like a little driving podcast. I'll probably put this out as a podcast. I'm not sure. As long as it made it past 30 minutes, I'll put it out as a podcast. But I might do more of these, you know. 2 birds, 1 stone. If I have to drive in a car with no radio on and I got stuff to talk about, that's what I'll do. But there you go. You all have a good day. I gotta go to work. Fun.